Hello and welcome to this week's Live, Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. In this week's show, I shall be chatting to Steve and Shawn from one of my Glastonbudget favourites, a tribute band to Motley Crue, Motley Crude. And we'll also be playing lots of homegrown music by local bands. Hello and welcome. I hope you're all having a great week. Yes, it's that time of the year again where I start my rundown to Glastonbudget Music Festival. If you don't know what one of those is, Glastonbudget is a local tribute festival. It's a proper music festival where there's at least about 10,000 people attend over the weekend. It's on the weekend, it's at the end of May, 26th to the 28th of May in 2023. Headlining, there's lots of tribute bands to ABBA, Pet Shop Boys, Fillers, Fleetwood Mac, Kazabian, Oasis, who else we got? Metallica, Pink, Pure Paloma, she's great, Phil Collins, AC/DC tributes, and the whole lot. Oasis, oh my god, it's all going on. So yeah, it's really, including Jilted Generation, another one of my favourites. So there's those, and there's a lot of local bands. So it's all going on at Glastonbudget, 26th to 28th of May. And that's why this week's interview is with Shawn and Steve from Motley Crude. But before we get to that, let's play a brand new song by a band who is not playing Glastonbudget, but they've just released this song, so I thought it rude not to start the show off with it. It's The Phased and One More Night.
Somebody save me.
was the latest banger from The Phased. I must admit, they are churning out some banging tunes these days. Yeah, that was The Phased and One More Night. Now, let's have a little bit of Smackjack, who are playing this year's Glastonbudget. They're going to be playing on the Sunday. Always put a fantastic show on. I expect they're on the Icon stage. Usually play there. So yeah, here's Smackjack and Cheap Thrills, Big Bills. That was the wonderful Smackjack and Cheap Thrills Big Bills, and they can be seen at Glastonbudget on the 28th of May. That's the Sunday. Absolutely fantastic. They put on a mega performance. usually on the little Icon Outdoors Icon stage. But yeah, really good band to watch. Another young person who's going to be performing at Glastonbudget on the Sunday the 28th. This time she's going to be, looks like she's going to be kicking off things actually on the Sunday. She's on at 11:45 on the main stage. Oh, that must be quite daunting. That'll be the first time she's played the main stage. She also usually puts on a intimate acoustic performance late at night for those that have got VIP tickets in the VIP tent, which is nice and intimate, so that's lovely. Anyway, I'm talking about Heather McDowell, a great local singer-songwriter, and here's her song, The Underneath. That was the wonderful Heather McDowell and The Underneath. As I say, she can be seen at Glastonbudget on Sunday the 28th of May, 11:45 on the main stage. So better get up nice and early for that one. So now it's time for this week's interview where I'm chatting to tribute band who are playing Glastonbudget. Tribute to Motley Crue. This is Steve and Shawn from Motley Crude. But first of all, let's have a Motley Crue classic, Dr. Feelgood. That was Dr. Feelgood by the incredible Motley Crue, and this week's interview is with Steve and Shawn from the tribute band Motley Crude. Hello there, Steve and Shawn. How the devil are you today?
Well, thanks, Kev.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're okay, mate. We're okay.
Excellent. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for chatting with me today on my little show here in Live, Local and Loud. It's not very often I speak to tribute bands, so I can't wait to be chatting with you and finding out about the band. Right, now just quickly, can you just explain to me what you guys do in the band and what your band names are and who else is in it, please?
Yeah, sure thing. So my name's Shawn Six. I play the role of the iconic Nikki Six.
Nikki Six, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Stevie, and I play Vince Neil, and I've been adequately named Vince Peel for Crew.
And who else is in the band?
So we've got Pete Clark, who goes under the name Pete Mars, and we've got Eduardo Ferreira, who goes under Tommy Lee.
Excellent, brilliant stuff. And which one's it? Was it Nikki Six as the singer?
No, Vince. Vince was the singer.
So Motley Crude, where do I begin? Wow, that's a great name for a tribute band, by the way. Absolutely love it. When and why did you, just briefly, when and why did you decide to form a Motley Crue tribute band?
So we formed the band in 2015, and the main reason was obviously because we're huge Motley Crue fans, and
yeah.
Kind of want to say this with the greatest of respect. There was a couple of tribute bands out there, but there wasn't any that were doing for us the band justice. So we decided to put together like the greatest Motley Crue tribute show that the UK's ever seen, and since 2015 we can quite proudly say I think we've been smashing it.
But also 2015, well, that's quite an iconic year for Motley Crue themselves, isn't it? Because I remember being at Download in Castle Donington 2015, and they were playing their last ever tour, weren't they? So
yeah,
did that help? Is that part of the reason why you decided to form in 2015?
You're kind of, yeah. I went to go and watch them at the Manchester Arena, and this is in the very, very early days of the band when we were still sort of testing the waters. And when I got to watch them, I actually got to meet Nikki Six, and he gave me his bass guitar plectrum at the end of the night. And that for me, because I was dressed the same as what he was, because I was wearing the same outfit as him. And he sort of saw me out from the crowd. He gave me his plectrum, and then from that point onwards, I thought this has to be an omen, that I was made to kind of do this. So that was. Since then, it's just been held to the leather,
That's amazing. So I guess you must have been right down the front then.
Yeah, it's a long story. I'm not going to go into it too much. Basically, me and my brother were by a fire exit. We got these really, really bad tickets that we are completely overpaid for. But at the end of the night, they had this little walkway to a centre stage, which would be elevated in the middle of the arena. And that pathway happened to be right next to where we were sitting. So they all came past and they all came over and said hi to us, I think, because they felt bad that we had such bad tickets. Maybe, I don't know. But it was great because they ended up being like the best seats in the house because we were the only guys that actually got to meet them. So it was a really freak chance, but I think it was meant to be.
So that's quite good timing though as well, isn't it? To form the band just as the band is going away, doing their last tour.
Definitely, yeah. It does help. I say when bands aren't actively playing anymore, the only way people can watch them is either watch old DVDs on YouTube and stuff, or they can come and watch a tribute band. Obviously, it's slightly changed now that Motley Crue are back playing again, but if anything, since that and the release of the movie from Netflix, it's just supercharged a whole new wave of audience for different ages from Motley Crue as well. So we're noticing much younger people than what we used to. So it's just sort of kept the band really current. So it's just been great for us.
Right, brilliant.
I was going to touch on that actually, the Netflix thing. That's how I really sort of fell in love with Motley Crue in the first place, and probably the reason why I've joined the band. I wasn't with the band in 2015 when it started, but I've been aware of Motley Crue and loved mainly the hits for a very, very long time. But watching the Netflix movie, I mean, my story is nowhere near as cool as Shawn's, but watching the Netflix movie, I just became obsessed. Through a series of events, I am where I am now, singing with the band, the tribute band. So yeah,
that they did a final tour. If you ever did split up, would you do a final tour then as well to mimic the real band?
and then start up again a few years later?
we do pretty much everything else that they do. Our stage show and our outfits, our instruments are all based on everything that they used and everything. So I suppose, yeah, to stick with tradition, we could break up or sort of have a hiatus, then come back again as a last will tour, and then do another 15 like Kiss do.
Now, obviously, as you probably know, there's a lot of people out there who are anti tribute bands that don't believe in them and won't go and see them. What would you say to those to try and get them to see a gig?
To come and see tribute bands in general, I'd say come to a tribute festival and challenge you to have a bad time. I really would. Having done the circuit a few times, including Glastonbudget and some of the other great tribute festivals that there are, I've had a great time as a performer and an attendee of both of those. But to come and see Motley Crude as a tribute band, if you were to challenge it, I would like to think that us as a band try our best to put you back into the sort of golden era of Motley Crue. We try and look and recreate specific eras depending on which show. So even if you think, oh yeah, well, I've seen it once, if you come a second time, we'll be replicating a completely different generation of Motley Crue from a completely different album tour or arena.
I often wonder at the beginning of the next song we're going to play, "Girls, Girls, Girls." There's the wonderful roaring motorbike, isn't there? Do you? I presume you have that as a backing track on your show, and you don't actually have a real motorbike coming in.
You'll have to come to the show and find out.
There's a reason why we have like a giant Mercedes Sprinter band that comes on the road, because it's housing all sorts of machinery like motorbikes. So yeah, like Stevie says, you have to come and check it out.
I must admit, I totally agree with you. I have such a fantastic time when I see tribute bands. And I remember your show when you played as King Awesome just over a year ago, I think, in the Sound House. And, I remember the show. I come away absolutely buzzing, and I still remember it to this day. It's incredible.
Oh, thank you very much. It's fantastic.
That's quite all right. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think also people can enjoy one of their favorite bands, but in an intimate setting as well, can't they? Like a Sound House. I mean, obviously Motley Crue would never play there, but you guys do. So you asked us then to play the first song, Dr. Feelgood. Why did you want us to play that song?
Yeah, I think it's just one of the most iconic songs Motley Crue ever had, and it's one of the highest released singles that they ever achieved back in 1989 from their album, which was the highest ever achieving album. So everyone, I notice when we're playing the song live, which we do at pretty much every show because it's such a monster hit, when the police sirens and the big drop comes in and that big classic intro starts with the drums. Yeah, you see people's faces light up. You think, "Oh my god, it's Dr. Feelgood!" It's that kind of such a great song. So I thought, there's no way we can have a bunch of songs on this radio interview and not play the Doctor. It's got to be done.
Absolutely.
It's also one of the best sounding drums that I've heard on a Motley track. I think that the drum intro is absolutely fantastic, and I love that.
Yeah. I couldn't disagree. Which is your favourite song then to play live, would you say?
For me, my favourite song to play live is it's a toss-up between two, and for different reasons. One is Home Sweet Home. That's the big ballad of the night. So yeah, singer gets his moment. So I absolutely love singing Home Sweet Home. But I also just for selfish reasons, I love playing Live Wire off of Motley's first album, and that is just got this moment in there which has just got a really big audience sing along. And it's just selfishly just such a great moment to see, crowd of people singing that right back at us. So that's my favorite.
I can imagine. I remember Home Sweet Home actually, because that was that. I think they ended their show at Download in 2015, and that actually literally brought a tear to my eye. That was really poignant. Standing in the field. That was really that was amazing. Okay, brilliant. So let's play another. Let's play another song of yours. I've got so many things I want to be chatting about, but we need to split out with some music. Let's play Girls, Girls, Girls. Why did you want us to play this one?
So the reason why I picked this one is because, kind of similar to the Dr. Feelgood thing, when we're playing a show, sometimes we do these really long 2-hour shows, and by the end of it, everyone, the crowd and us, are kind of absolutely exhausted because we put in 110% into the shows. We're absolutely dripping wet. We're soaking. It's grim. It's rock and roll. It's dirty. It's sleazy. It's trashy. And then everyone's starting to flag. And then when we play Girls, Girls, Girls towards the end of the set, the entire crowd just goes absolutely bananas. And we invite all these girls on stage and they all get up and dance. And then everyone gets the phones out because like their partners or the friends are on stage. And the entire venue just completely blows up. And even like the owners of the venues get the phones out, like thinking, "Oh my God, I've never seen it this crazy before." And it honestly just goes completely bananas. And that's why I picked Girls, 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 because there isn't a person on this planet that's never heard that song.
Brilliant. Okay, so here's Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue. That was Girls, Girls, Girls by the incredible Motley Crue. And this week's interview is with Steve and Shawn from the tribute band Motley Crude. So, guys, I've been perusing your little Facebook page and there's something about an award up there. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so it was a couple of years ago. We sort of got invited into showcasing the band on Motley Crue's official Facebook fan page. So wow. we got involved, and they were doing a poll of basically celebrating bands like ourselves that were keeping Motley Crue alive, and introducing it to different audiences all around the world globally. And yeah, they basically had this big voting system of based on video footage and the look of the band and everything, and who they thought was doing it the best. And surprisingly enough, we didn't expect it, but we actually came first. So wow. It was really nice. Yeah, so it's the largest and official fan group of Motley Crue, all real hardcore fans. The number one tribute band in the world to the world's most notorious rock band. So yeah, for us, these little guys, from little old England, we're kicking it pretty hard over here, Steve, aren't we?
Yeah, we didn't get any badges though, or anything like that. So no trophy.
Even so, it's something to talk about. That's amazing, definitely. Guys. God, that's incredible. So have you got any plans then to go over to America and tour over there and show everybody what you're about, what they voted for?
I mean, I would absolutely love that, but there's about 50 Motley Crue tribute bands in America. So if I could find a promoter who would pay for us to be able to go over there, when they could just book one of the 50 bands.
Yeah, but you're the number one.
I know, that's the only thing that we've got to kind of like trying to push it over the line is like, yeah, you could book another one, but remember we are number one. So, I mean, yeah, maybe that would be something. Obviously, play the Whiskey a Go-Go. That would be the dream, wouldn't it? Because then that's kind of like that would cement Motley Crue then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If not America, then what about anywhere else abroad?
I'd love to branch into Europe. Definitely.
They'd love you.
Yeah, I think it would go down really well. I think the scene over there for the sort of 80s hard rock is really good. It's really strong. So that's something that I'd love to explore. It's just logistics, isn't it?
Yeah, we are in talks because we have had a couple of offers in the past to go over to places like Belgium and Germany and Holland to do these big sort of European music festivals. And so far, it's just been a logistical sort of headache, so it's been a no, but we are actively working on getting the band into Europe, because that is something that we all actively want to do, but with like the rules changing and stuff now, and it's just makes it a lot more difficult, but not impossible. So we will do it at some point.
So talking about logistics, most bands I chat to here on Live, Local and Loud are original bands who have all day jobs because, of course, they don't make much from their gigs. Is that the same with you guys? Because I imagine each performance you must earn quite a bit, especially the place things like Glastonbudget, huge crowds and stuff. So do you all have day jobs as well, or is this your main job?
Yeah, we all have to work full time. Unfortunately, it's not 1985 anymore. So musicians don't, especially in this genre, we don't tend to make anywhere near what we would do 35 years ago. But yeah, we make good money, and we work really hard with the band. But it's not enough to be able to survive on, really. So it's the main reason we do it is for the love of the music and the band. Yeah. The money we get just goes, pretty much all my money goes towards new costumes and new gear.
I was just about to chime in there and say that there's a lot of reinvestment into this band, isn't there? Sort of everything that we kind of make kind of just goes back into the pot to build on the show and make it stronger. And you've got about, I don't know how many Nikki Sixx style basses I've seen that you've got, and jackets and costumes and things like that. So yeah.
Wow. So Shawn, do you still play with the plectrum that you got?
Oh, I've never played with it. I'm actually in my home studio at the moment, and I'm looking at it now. It's on a wall in a frame. So what I've got is I've got the ticket from the concert, which was Tuesday the 3rd of November at 6:00 with Alice Cooper supporting Motley Crue, and I've got a Motley Crue single vinyl of my favorite song by Motley Crue in this frame, and it's got the plectrum in the middle as well, so it's that nice little sort of custom display case. But I'll never play with it, I'll never take it out. It'll always be just in the case there, because he used it on the song Home Sweet Home as their last song, and he came down and he just walked over to me, and funny story actually, he gave it to my brother first, and then he sort of looked up and realised that I was dressed the same, and he actually took it out of my brother's hand and placed it in my hand. and he said the words, "I think this will mean more to you." And my brother looked at me, and I'm not going to say what he said because I'm sure there's like underage people listening to this, but you can imagine what came out of his mouth.
Oh,
yeah. So I'll never take it out. I'll never use it. I'll keep that forever. Yeah, this money can't put a price on that thing for me. So.
Oh no! But at least he's your brother, so he can still see it and stroke it. And
yeah, well, funnily enough, the bass that I actually use in the band, the White Thunderbird, was actually my brother's because we used to be in a band together when we were a lot younger, and it's actually his bass. So it's kind of like it's all kind of come full circle now because he's a huge Crue fan as well. So. Everything's all entwined into each other, So it's. I think he was happy for me that that he gave it to me.
Now I'm sure, like I say, I've seen you back in the Soundhouse just over a year ago as King Awesome.
That's just me. Yeah.
All right, Steve.
That's
okay.
Us, yeah.
I was going to say every single member in that audience, me included, comes away and remembers that because of your performance. It's just so memorable and had such a great time. It's incredible. Are there any gigs that you've played that particularly stick in your memory as being fun gigs?
Ooh, we played with Motley Crue. One of the most memorable ones for me. We played quite recently was the local O2 Academy. We were supporting Guns Two Roses, who were also playing at Glastonbudget.
Yeah.
And that was a real full circle moment for me with this band because a couple of years ago I stood in the crowd at O2 Academy Oxford with my pint watching Motley Crude and their former singer, and I looked at it and I looked up at the stage and I was like, that is exactly what I want to do. I love this band. I've recently discovered Motley Crue and I'm obsessed. I'd love to be doing that one day. And then here I am, a couple of years later, singing in the band. And the most memorable moment for me was running out onto O2 Academy Oxford stage, thinking, "Yeah, do you know what? Old Steve would really, really high five me right now." That's because that was just one of those bizarre. Like, never would have thought it would actually happen that literally,
Yeah.
But put in the shift and everything, and it turned out that I actually ended up joining the band and. Wow. And O2 Academy Oxford, room full of people. Those O2 gigs are really memorable anyway because they're just such a great environment and such a professional show. Yeah. But just to have that kind of, we're supposed to be all serious and cool looking in the band, like we're real rock stars. But I could not wipe the smile off my face the whole night because it was just really affirming.
You're living your dream basically, aren't you?
It was exactly that. Yeah, it was exactly that.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, guys. So look, let's bring it up to date now. So tell us about your stadium tour that you've got coming up.
Okay. So a couple of years ago when Motley Crue, Def Leppard and Poison announced they were doing a stadium tour across like North America and stuff, I had this idea of what if we did like a tribute version, and I put everything in place. But then this is all sort of around the COVID time. So when the tour in the US got cancelled, I started putting things together to recreate like my own tribute version because I also play in a Poison tribute band as well. So it kind of like, it makes sense. And the two other guys also do as well in the band. So we put together and look around for Def Leppard tribute band, and we managed to get a band called Chef Leopard from Sheffield, who great name. Really great name. And they actually have the original drummer for Def Leppard, a guy called Tony Kenning as well.
Wow.
So it's really cool. Yeah, it's how it's worked out. When we did a tour a couple of years ago, and it was really great, great attendance. And then so much so, it's actually, so last year it was. And then we've started doing it again this year. And up to now, we've had 4 sold out back-to-back shows.
I know, I've seen
it. It's amazing. Yeah, it was really great show. And it's just, we can't be more proud of it. Next show we've got is actually this Friday coming up. So we've it's all going really, really well.
But I noticed you're not doing Leicester. Is that because you're doing Glastonbudget?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so we sort of every time we announce any tour dates, we have just an influx of people saying, "Come to this place, come to that place." But it's there's loads of places we'd like to go to, but often working with certain venues and obviously having to make the logistics work for everyone. It's actually a really complicated venture booking a full tour, and sometimes the areas that you want to play. It's just you just can't get there because people aren't available or the venue's not available or whatever. So, but yeah, we're happy to be doing the Leicester area because we're getting to play obviously the amazing Glastonbudget. So
you're playing 3:30 on Sunday, Sunday the 28th of May in the Big Top as well. Is that where you played last year, Steve?
No, so I played on the main stage last year, but there's a lot to be said about the Big Top this year. Certainly on Sunday because there's the Monsters of Rock lineup, and I'm definitely really excited to get on stage and play, but I'm also really excited to just spend my day at the back of the tent and just watching all of these tribute bands because the lineup is fantastic with AC/DC tributes and Guns tributes and everything. I'm really excited for that.
Okay, guys. Well, we're going to have to wrap up in a minute. So how can people follow you on your social medias?
So if you go on to Facebook, it's we've got all our links obviously on there. We've got Instagram as well. You can follow us. So Instagram, it's at Motley Crude Tribute, and it's Motley and then CRUDE, Motley Crude Tribute, and Facebook. Yeah,
Facebook, it's Motley Crude GB, isn't it? All one word.
That's the one. Yeah, that's our social links. Yeah, so you can get in touch with us on there, and yeah, we can hit you up and anything you want to ask or any requests or anything like that, you can get in touch with us on either of those platforms, and that's where all our tour dates and videos and promos all on there. So yeah.
Excellent. Great. So we're going to wrap up shortly. So we're going to play the last song. Thank you very much for chatting with us today. It's been great finding out about Motley Crue, and I can't wait to see you at Glastonbudget, guys. So we're going to play Kickstart My Heart. Why did you choose this one?
All right, this song is an absolute monster. It's a set ender for us. It's a set ender for Motley Crue. And I thought it'd be a great way to round off this interview. The particular note to Mick Mars at the beginning with his reverse dive bombs on the guitar, I absolutely love it. Sounds like a motorbike. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, guys. So here's Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. that was me chatting to the wonderful Steve and Shawn from tribute act Motley Crue. They sound like a bundle of fun. Okay, can't wait to see them. They're also on Sunday at 3:30 on the Big Top stage. That's Sunday 28th of May in sunny Glastonbudget. Can't wait for that one. That brings us to the end of another live, local and loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, if you want to check out what's going down musically in Leicestershire, check out musicinleicester.co.uk. Also, if you want to hear any previous live, local and louds and the interviews that I do within them, check out musicinleicester.co.uk. You'll see a handy playlist on the right hand side. So do have a great week, and I shall look forward to seeing you here Thursday 5 o'clock on sunny Hermitage FM.